Hi, and welcome back to the next episode of my playthrough of Talisman. Unfortunately, I again did a small mistake in the last episode, even though I promised not to do one. But yeah, this really happened, and good thing is, in this case, there was not real, let's say, it did not affect the actual gameplay. So when the cleric here defeated this dragon, this was completely right. So there was no problem to that. But he traded in this trophy then for getting another craft point. Of course, this is not possible. You have to discard this trophy for the appropriate yeah, ability here, let's call it that way. So you would not be allowed to gain a craft point, but instead, to go for find a strength point. So that's 1, 2. So I would change that now. So he would be now at 4 strength. Of course, it's not ideal because it's normally better to really focus on one of these features here, so strength or craft, and not to balance that. At least in most cases. There might be games where this is different. But apart from that, we can now discard this dragon and are really back to normal. Just as a quick reminder, both characters, so the cleric and the Terror Knight, have a quest, and they have to lose both 3 gold, and I think this is what the cleric will do in this turn. Okay, so let's start the actual gameplay, and again, start with a Terror Knight. Let's see what he rolls. That's a 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's the stables. I think he will then go to the top. It's daylight, so he's not allowed to use his witch's broom. So that's 1, 2, 3, and 4. So let's draw our card here, and this says Growing Suspicion, and this is also a card from the, let me show that to you, from the Blood Moon expansion. And now each character has to roll a die, and for each werewolf character in play we have to subtract 1. Fortunately we don't have any character in play, so the werewolf, I would assume, would not count for that. So let's first, or maybe before we forget, let's flip the daytime nighttime to night, and then we would roll our die for the Terror Knight. That's a 6. You can see that. Nothing happens. Now let's roll for the cleric. That's a 4. Okay, we have to pass 1 turn basically. So yeah, not really good, but at least we don't lose any life. So this will be discarded now. So that was the turn of the Terror Knight, and as the cleric is delayed, if I would call that, the Terror Knight has to move again. So this time he will use his riding horse, because he really wants to get away from the cleric. Really, I always keep forgetting. I always want to say that's the elf, but because maybe from above it looks similar, I don't know. So he will really go to the graveyard as soon as possible. So let's roll 2 die. That's an 8 this time, and I think we can go there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And then he would land here. Show that to you on this treasure pit, and this would allow him to gain 2 gold. Now he can really use that. And before he's really going to the middle region, I think he really needs his warhorse back. That's pretty important for him. So, but now let's get over to the cleric, who is no longer delayed. Let's roll our die. That's a 3. To the right there is this border guardian. This really does not help, so we go up 1, 2, and 3 to the plains. So let's quickly draw our card, and this is another stables. I'm not so sure. No, I think we will not buy ourselves a horse here. So we have now 2 stables in play. This is actually not really that good, to be honest, but yeah, it's like it is. So let's get back to the Terra Knight. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So yeah, let's roll our normal die. That's only a 2, and then we go down to the werewolf field, but that's not a problem. So let's draw our card. That's a stranger. Oh, that's cool. This is a fallen adventurer, and also comes from the Blood Moon expansion. Yep. And it says in the night this will come to life and would attack you with a strength of 4, but I think we don't have to add here the normal modifier from the nighttime, because it only can happen during night. So this would attack you with a strength of 4. Yeah, so let's resolve that fight first. Terra Knight has a strength of 3 because his warhorse is still waiting for him on the graveyard, and this fallen adventurer has a 4, so that's a 5 and a 2. So he would defeat this guy. But to be honest, right now I don't know exactly what really happens. Can we now claim that as a trophy? That's interesting. Interesting thought. To be honest, I would say we defeated this guy and take it as a trophy. Okay, was a good move, and now let's get back to our little cleric. Okay, actually I don't know if he's really little. He does not really seem to be too little, so I do apologize to all clerics out there. So again, that's a 3, and one more time we could go down to the chapel, or we could go up to the city. Let me just quickly think about that. Okay, I think I will do that different. First I will fulfill my quest, so I will give this 3 gold back to the bank, basically, or to the sorcerer. This would teleport us here to the cave of the sorcerer, and then we can claim ourselves a talisman, which I will do because we fulfilled his quest. I put that into the possession, and then we can still use our 3, and I think we will go down here to the canyon. 1, 2, 3. No, it's the runestones actually down here. So we have to draw only 1 adventure card, and this says a bag of gold. Perfect. So let's get back 1 gold and put it back into the possession of the cleric. He's really awfully rich. That's cool. So we discard this bag of gold card, and then let's give it back to the Terra Knight, who still wants to try to get back his horse. That's a 4, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, and he uses his witch's broom once more, the 1, 2, and 3. And then we would be allowed to get back our warhorse. So he now has again a strength of 6 in a physical fight, which is cool. And now we can still reclaim back our fate token at the graveyard here. So I will also do that, so we don't have to roll the die here. And I think that's it at this point in time. So I think he now could also decide to go to the cave of the sorcerer. I think he still can decide that during the next turn. And yeah, that was the turn of the Terra Knight, and let's give it back to the cleric. So let's roll our die. That's a 3. If we go to the right, there would waiting a dragon, a cultist, I guess, something like that. So basically everything, I show you that, basically everything that the Terror Knight left behind. And that's why I think he still could go again to the Cave of the Sorcerer and claim another quest, maybe to go for a quest reward card. I think he really should level up first. No, he will go down. So 1, 2, and 3. We land here again on the field of the Sentinel, and this is a savior. So characters with an evil or neutral alignment have to discard or put one fate token on this card, and the first good character can claim these fate tokens. Now he is a good character and there are no fate tokens in play, so I'm not so sure if I should now... No, I think I will keep that here. I think this would be fair to really wait until there is a fate token on top of that, so I think this then concludes the turn, and give it back to the Terror Knight. That's a 1. Oh, that's perfect. So the Terror Knight will go here to the Guardian to the right, and will exchange his trophy here with another of these craft points. So he's now at a craft of 8. And he's really coming closer to an actual value where he might consider going up to the inner region, but still I think at least 2 or 3 points more should be considered first. Let's quickly roll for the werewolf, and that's a 6. He could now... No, I think he will send the werewolf the other direction, because the werewolf would stop on his own field because it's nighttime. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 here to the plains, close to the tavern, and this ends the movement of the werewolf as well. And now we can go back to the... Oh gosh, 1 is not too bad, to be honest, but the cleric does not have any trophy in his possession. To the left there is the... It's the stables, and actually the Terror Knight is a match already, or again, because of his warhorse. So I still could go there, and I would engage the border. So yeah, I think I will go here, it's safer. So I will go here 1 to the right, and there would end my movement, and I cannot claim a trophy, I cannot draw cards, so this would end the movement. Let's quickly roll for the werewolf, and that's a 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Send it down back to in our direction, and yeah, let's give it back to the Terror Knight. Let's quickly roll our die. He might go after this Shadow Dragon. This might be... it's tough, but maybe an idea. But then again he would lose his... That's a 4. So he could go once more to the graveyard and pray, or 1, 2, 3... No, 1, 2, 3, 4. To the left there would the Vampire Prince. There would be the Vampire Prince. And actually I think he will go there. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Because he has a high amount of craft points, so that's pretty cool. So, oh, I did say that again, the pretty cool thing. I really do apologize. I will keep it at a minimum in this episode. I really try my best. So, we would have a base craft of 8 already. Then we would have this Shadow Dagger in our possession, and it's nighttime, so we can add another 3 to our 8, so we would end in 11 craft points, whereas the Vampire Prince has a craft of 10 because it's night. So I think there is still a chance. We have 1 point more, and we would have one additional point. Yeah, let's roll the die. Yeah, that's perfect. So 1, 2, and a 2, so we are 1 point higher, so for once we defeated this vampire prince. Nice. And it was pretty risky because he could have killed a follower as well. And this would mean we could trade him indirectly for another craft point, because we have 2 more. So let's do that as well. So we now have a craft of 9. This is really awesome. And oh yeah, oh, this is great. Of course, there is this lovely maid, I would call her, and she brings you another 2 craft points. So actually, and we can make that a little bit more nice, we are now at a craft of 11, at least as long as we do have the follower, the lovely maid follower. And this could really mean we could try to move upwards, because we have our talisman, we have a craft of 11, and still we might be able to kill some more enemies to maybe gain 1 or 2 additional points until we get there. But there's really a chance to go to the mines, because there are 2 paths basically. Let me show that to you. So later on in the inner region, maybe I scroll out a little bit, there will be 2 paths basically. One would lead more or less the way of the strength, and the other way would be the way of the craft. And basically in both directions you have to roll 3 dice. You would have to subtract your strength or craft points, and with a proper result you would land on the appropriate field. And this is of course a good idea. So I think with the 3 dice and 11 craft, there is really a chance to roll at least 11 or lower. Yeah, I think this is really some good idea, and we could really consider going up again. So this was actually a very, very, very good move for the Terra Knight. So let's roll our die for the come on. Yeah, that's a 1. To the right there is this graveyard. Of course we do not want to go there. To the left is again the savior, and there are still no cards in play. To be honest, maybe I'm playing this wrong. Maybe I should have discarded this instantly, but now I decided so let's keep it there. And of course we have to roll for the werewolf. Again, that's a 4. Let's move it up 1, 2, 3 and 4 to this shadow dragon down here. So then let's roll for the Terra Knight. Still, the Terra Knight does not have a rafter, so he has not the strength to defeat the Sentinel, because the Sentinel has a strength of 9, so he cannot just go up there, so he needs to build a raft, but he can do that in the woods basically. Yeah, and I think this is what he's going to do. So for once he can go up here, 1, 2 and 3, and then we would have to draw a card, of course. So this is a hate preacher, and this is an event, so we have to flip our daytime and nighttime card. And now we would have to roll a die for any of you. Oh, come on. Ah, that's tough. For any of your followers. The follower with the highest result oh yeah, attacks you with a craft of 3. But whatever happens, this follower will more or less disappear. Oh, that's really tough. And we really have so many followers, and this is pretty. So let's draw our die for the warhorse. That's a 5. I will try that. So then for this Apprentice of Darkness, that's only a 1. So he's already safe, so we don't have to keep that. Then for, and this is important, for the lovely maid. Oh gosh, this is a 5 again, so they will go for a tie, but maybe we will be lucky. So our riding horse, that's only a 4, so this will not attack us. Then we have this Guardian of the Night Watch, that's also a 5, okay, at least we have a chance here. And then for the princess, really funny idea if this princess would attack us. That's only a 1, so the princess will also not attack us. So we will have to roll the dice for all of these guys again. So let's start again with the warhorse. That's only a 2. Now for the lovely maid, that's also a 2. And then, oh come on, also a 2. Yeah, then let's do that exercise one more time. Start again with the warhorse. That's a 2. Then for the lovely maid, of course, that's a 5. That's our most important follower. And this is a 2. Oh, come on. Do I have something in my possession? Anti-magic? Nothing. So basically I don't think we have to roll our die, because this lovely maid only would have a craft of 3. And we have a strength craft of, that's now interesting. Is she still in our follower? That really makes no difference, because she would give us 2 craft points. No, I think after that. So I think we can still use the craft points. So we have a craft of 12 versus 3, so I think there is not really a chance. But now we have to discard her. We have to discard this hate breacher. Come on. And then we would have to give back 2 of our craft points. So we are now 11, so we only have 9 now again. And the lovely maid is now really gone. Oh, come on. So our plan just changed. We are not going to the middle region, at least not yet. Yeah, so he think he would bemoan her a little bit, but I think still we can give the followers back. Oops. So we still have the princess, this guardian, the warhorse, riding horse, and this apprentice. And yeah, let's give the die back to the cleric. So the cleric is here. But oh, come on, not again. I think then we will go here to the stables, and yeah, nothing really happens, but of course we have to roll our die for the werewolf, and that's a 3. So 1, 2 and 3. Or is it really a good idea? No, it's not. 1, 2 and 3. 1, 2 and 3. We give it back to the other direction, to the deep forest. Yeah, and that concludes the turn of the cleric. This was really a bad move for the Terror Knight. But still, I think he will now then do something different. So I think he will really fulfill the quest, or complete the quest. So he pays 2 or 3 gold. No, it was 3 gold, sorry. Those 3 gold, we pay that back to the bank. This would teleport us back here to the cave of the wizard, sorcerer, whatever you call that. And as we already have a talisman, we can now claim ourselves a quest reward card instead. And this says Dream Reward. So this says we can now draw adventure cards until we find a magical object, and then we can keep this magical object, and if we don't take this object we are not getting any reward. Okay, problem is he has already 4 items in his possession. Oh, this was not so good. Okay, but anyway, let's do that. So, okay, let's find, that's a stranger, follower, opponent, event, location, enemy, and the magical object. This says, yeah, Shield of the Sun or so, and really I don't want to exchange any of my objects for this one. And so this was really nothing. So we discard all of these cards, and we also discard these quest reward cards, and they're really unique, so they will not come into play again. So this was not actually a good move, but still we can roll our die now because we haven't moved yet. And this is a 2, and I think we will go then here to the right to the oasis once more. So 1 and 2. So this is an event, but this is a moon event, so it says to flip the card to daytime, but it's already daytime, and this is pretty cool. Ah, damn it! I said it again. This is a nice card, and it says anytime a character would try to attack a creature in a fight or a psychic fight, he can raise his attack value by 2. That's nice. This card will be discarded when night breaks, yeah, whatever. And this is again a magical object. This is a cross, and this is also nice little artifact, because it says if you are evil, you're not going to lose a life in the chapel, and if you are good, then you would not lose a life at the graveyard. And additionally, you are allowed to destroy any ghosts, but only ghosts in a fight. But you are not allowed to claim the trophy if you then use that. And you can keep this cross, so you don't have to discard that. So that's very good card, and unfortunately we cannot exchange that. So it's too important for him. All the other cards, so we have to keep that here on the oasis. Maybe later on if we lose something or so. Well, that's really okay, but still there is this moon event in play which increases our attack value, at least until it's daytime. Okay, let's get over to the cleric one more time. So let's roll our die, and this time that's a 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Again we would land on a stables, and to the right we would go to the shadow dragon, but I think this time we could really go after him because it's daytime. Yeah, let's do that. So it's 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then we would have to engage this shadow dragon here. I think we will use our Sword of Mischief, which would allow us to add 3 points to our strength, but again if we would roll a 1 we would lose a life. So we have now a strength of 7, or an attack strength of 7, and this dragon has a strength of only 5. Ah, that's perfect. So the dragon only rolled a 1, we have a 5, so we defeated this dragon, and this might really be good for us, as we might trade that in here at the border guardian. So this was a good fight for the cleric. Now let's see what the shadow knight is doing, and this is a 1, and this means we would lose a life point again, so we have to go in either direction. So I can go here to the desert. So this is definitely not so good. Good thing is we would not lose our warhorse, because this only will be discarded when losing a life point in a battle. But still we would have to draw a adventure card. This is a master mage, the stranger, and he stays here until the end of the game actually, and he would give any good character a spell. Unfortunately this Terror Knight is not good, so he just lost a life point, so it's not that bad at least. Okay, but still we need to take care of that as soon as possible. And now let's quickly roll our die for the cleric. This is a 3. 1, 2, 3. Pity. To the left we are coming at least close to the border. 1, 2, 3, and there's the deep forest, and then we would roll a die, and normally that's not really good to go there. So I think we will go here to the left, 1, 2, and 3. And there's again the savior, who still doesn't have any fate tokens, so that's not really a bad move, but could have been better. So I think for today this will be the last round for the Terror Knight. So let's say 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Go here, down here. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Runestones. Okay, let's go here to the runestones. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And this is the Staff of Balance, and neither good nor bad characters can have this magical object, so it just stays here where it is. Not a great move, but could have been worse. Let's quickly roll for the Cleric, also the last round for him, and this is a 1, which is awesome. So he could go once more here to the Border Guardian. Then we could give back this trophy, and as we are here, we are allowed to level up in any of those, so in strength or craft. And of course we already more or less focused on craft, then we would also get another craft point, which we will put here beside him, so we are also up at a craft of 6, which is actually not too bad. So I think this concludes the gameplay, the session for today. Again, I hope I haven't made too many mistakes. Whoever finds one can keep it. And no, of course, make me aware of it when I do something wrong, or if I forget something. This is really very helpful for anyone who might learn this game. And I'm also a learner here, as you might have seen that. So make me aware of any mistake I might have made. So I will now prepare everything, load this up to my YouTube channel, and then hope you enjoyed that, and hope to see you soon in my next episode. And until then, bye bye.